Stop grinding. Your brain solves problems when you stop working. You're forcing deep work, but your output isn't improving. More hours, tighter focus, same stuck problems. That's not laziness, it's your brain's wiring being ignored. The missing piece is your default mode network, the background system that connects dots when you stop pushing. Today, I'll show you a DMN-backed protocol that multiplies deep work results without burnout. You'll learn the counterintuitive timing rule that unlocks breakthroughs, the one habit quietly killing your insights, and a simple 10-minute ritual that makes solutions show up on demand. Let's make your brain do the heavy lifting so your effort finally pays off. The problem: why classic deep work fails you. Most people treat deep work like a marathon. Sit longer, push harder, remove distractions, repeat. It feels noble. It also quietly fails. Why? Because forced focus ignores how your brain actually turns effort into insight. You're loading information, but you're not giving your system space to integrate it. So the work gets heavier while the wins don't get smarter. Here's what's really happening. You grind through a block, stack decisions, and keep inputs flowing, tabs open, notifications pinging, Slack blinking. That constant novelty steals bandwidth needed for consolidation. Your brain can't stitch the pieces while you're still shoveling more pieces in. Busy work masquerades as progress. The big knot stays tight. Then there's attentional residue. Every small open loop you leave behind, half-read emails, extra tabs, tiny, "I'll reply later" promises, keeps a piece of your focus trapped. You enter your next focus block already fragmented. You can push through on willpower, but you're driving with the parking brake on. The sensation is familiar: effort rising, clarity falling. Decision fatigue compounds it. A long grind session demands hundreds of micro choices: where to look, which tool, what to name that thing, whether to check a source. Each choice drains a little control. By hour 2 or 3, you're more rigid, not more creative. You default to safe patterns, chase rabbit holes, or get stuck polishing guesses. More time, worse judgment. Another hidden cost: overloading one mode of the brain. Task-positive networks are great for execution, linear, focused, goal-directed work. But the answers you're missing often require synthesis. Connecting distant dots, simulating futures, reframing the problem. That happens when the task-positive network eases and the default mode network can roam. When you never ease, you never roam. So the best ideas show up later, on a walk, in the shower, when you've already burned hours trying to brute force them. Here's the kicker: we mistake that later insight for luck. It isn't luck, it's timing. You finally stopped flooding your attention and your background system did its job. But because you didn't plan for it, the idea arrives off schedule, you're not ready to capture it, and momentum leaks. The next day, you reset the timer and attempt another marathon. Inputs keep you stuck too. Feeds, headlines, even music with lyrics create micro-interruptions that feel harmless but slice your focus. Each slice spawns a mental tab: reply, remember, check this later. Those tabs follow you into your so-called break. Instead of clearing space for integration, you're dragging a bag of noise through your day. No wonder your deep work doesn't feel deep. What most people miss is that deep work is a rhythm, not an endurance test. You need a cycle. Load the right problem with clean inputs, loosen your attention so the background system can recombine, and land the sparks fast before they evaporate. When you skip the loosen phase, you rely on brute force. When you skip the landing, you waste the insight. Both create rework. Let's talk stakes. If you keep running the marathon version, you plateau. Creativity feels unreliable, learning slows, and burnout creeps in. You'll catch yourself rewriting the same section, refactoring the same module, or changing strategy every week because nothing feels clean. And the worst part? You'll blame yourself. You'll assume you need more grit. But grit is the wrong tool if the system is wrong. There's another trap: treating breaks as leisure. Grabbing a podcast, scrolling just for a second, or squeezing errands into the gap makes you feel productive, but it hijacks the exact window your brain needs for synthesis. The result is a day full of effort with no compounding. You worked hard, but you didn't get smarter. So what's the better model? Alternation. Short, intense focus to load specifics, then deliberate low input time where your attention can drift just enough for the default mode network to connect threads, then a quick landing to turn sparks into next moves. Think intervals, not a slog. The counterintuitive rule that makes it work: end your focus block on a question, not on a win. Winds tell your brain we're done, so background processing idles. A sharp question is a magnet. It keeps the system engaged while you step away. When you shift from marathons to cycles, a few things happen fast. First, friction drops. You stop forcing progress in the wrong mode and start letting the right mode handle the right job. Second, insight per hour rises. Problems that were stuck for days break in minutes because you're letting integration run on schedule. Third, rework falls. You make cleaner choices earlier because your brain had time to simulate outcomes between passes. If you remember nothing else, remember this: your brain solves many problems between sessions, not inside them. Classic deep work fails when it treats time in seat as the metric. The real metric is breakthroughs landed. To get those, you need rhythm. Load with precision, loosen without inputs, land immediately. Do it right, and the hours you already work start paying you back. Now, let's meet the background system that makes this possible. Meet the default mode network, your brain's background engine. Let me introduce the system you've felt 1,000 times but never named, the default mode network. In plain English, it's a set of brain regions that light up when you're not pushing, when attention relaxes, inputs quiet down, and you slip into mind-wandering or low-demand routines. It's the background engine that stitches experiences together, simulates futures, and surfaces those. Where did that come from? Ideas. Here's why you care. The task-positive networks you use during focused work are phenomenal at execution, holding goals, suppressing distractions, stepping through logic. But that mode is narrow. It keeps you on the track you chose. The default mode network is wider. It roams your memory, pulls patterns you didn't know you stored, and runs quick mental experiments on possible paths. Focus loads, the DMN recombines. You need both. Think of it like this: focused work writes high-quality notes. The DMN turns those notes into a map. Without the map, you take longer routes and miss shortcuts. With the map, you see, oh, those two pieces click if I drop this constraint and move that step earlier. That clarity doesn't come from staring harder. It comes from giving your brain time to connect what you already fed it. You've experienced the pattern. You grind for an hour, stall, step into a shower, and the answer snaps in. You go for a quick dishwashing break and suddenly see the naming that cleans up your whole model. It's not magic, it's timing. You stopped flooding your systems with novelty, and the background network took the inputs you just loaded and ran them in peace. Now, here's the thing most people miss. The DMN isn't daydreaming for its own sake. It's selective. It works best when you give it a target. Vague inputs produce vague drift. Sharp questions produce useful associations. That's why ending on a clean, constraint-aware question matters so much. It tells the network where to aim while you step away. What does the DMN actually do during that aimed wandering? 3 big jobs. First, memory consolidation. It strengthens the traces you encoded during focused work so they're easier to retrieve and combine next time. Second, association building. It tests links between distant pieces, your notes, a past project, a comment from a customer, without the pressure of producing right now. Third, future simulation. It runs lightweight what if scenarios so you feel, not just think, which option is promising. Contrast that with trying to brute force everything in focus mode. When you keep grinding, you narrow prematurely. You overfit to the first plausible idea, polish dead ends, and miss alternatives that sit one step to the side. The reason those alternatives appear later is that the DMN was free to explore them once you stopped micromanaging your attention. Let me give you a quick example of how this clicked for me. I was stuck on a structure problem. 2 sections kept fighting each other. I ended my block with a seed. What single contrast makes both sections inevitable? I did dishes for 10 minutes. Around minute 8, the phrase "shrink the scope, widen the pace" landed out of nowhere. Back at the desk, that line turned into a subhead and the whole outline snapped. The difference wasn't more effort. It was a targeted question plus a quiet channel. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. You can aim the DMN by the way you end focus. A sharp, singular, constraint-loaded question turns the off time into working time without the strain. What's the smallest API shape that makes migration trivial? Which 2 examples prove the claim in under 30 seconds? What's the first test that kills the wrong hypothesis? That's fuel. And here's where most people mess up. They treat the network like a luxury and drown it in inputs. Music with lyrics, quick inbox checks, headlines, each tiny hit eats the same bandwidth the DMN needs for recombination. Then they assume the system doesn't work for them. It does. They just never gave it silence, movement, and a target. Once you nail that, everything else clicks. Problems stop feeling like heavy boulders you need to push uphill. They feel like puzzles you load, walk away from, and return to with a clean piece that fits. Your hours don't get longer, your results get denser. You'll notice you make decisions earlier, rewrite less, and ship with more confidence because the rough edges got smoothed between sessions. If you remember nothing else about the DMN, remember this line: focus encodes, the default mode network integrates. When you respect that division of labor, your breaks stop being breaks. They become the part of the work that turns effort into insight. In a minute, I'll show you how to structure your day around that cycle so your background engine runs on schedule instead of by accident. The better model: alternating systems, not endless sprints. So here's the better model: alternate systems instead of stretching one to failure. You've got two engines, focus to load, DMN to integrate. Run them in a deliberate loop so each does the job it's built for and hands cleanly to the other. When you design that alternation, effort stops feeling like force and starts feeling like rhythm. Reframe deep work as intervals with designed recovery. Not recovery like lounging, recovery like strategic idling that keeps quality high. The shape is simple: load right arrow, loosen right arrow, land. Work, wander right. In load, you apply deliberate effort to a single, sharp question. In loosen, you step away and give your background system quiet motion and zero inputs so it can recombine what you just fed it. In land, you capture and commit before the sparks evaporate. Let me show you why this beats the marathon. The thing most people miss is that the loosen phase isn't leisure, it's digestion. It's where memory traces strengthen, patterns surface, and premature choices get challenged without ego. Without loosen, you're stuck polishing first ideas. With it, you get a shot at better ones without burning more hours. Here's how the three-phase loop actually runs. Phase 1, load. You set a single prompt, preload only relevant context, and timebox 50-75 minutes. You push until questions sharpen, then end on a seed question instead of a win. That magnet keeps the DMN engaged while you step away. Phase 2, loosen. 10 to 20 minutes of light, rhythmic movement with no inputs. Walk, dishes, shower, anything repetitive and low demand. You keep the question nearby, but you don't grind on it. Phase 3, land. Sit for 10 minutes, dump one-liners, sort into decisions, experiments, or questions, and commit one micro-action. Then either run another loop or move on. The benefits stack fast. More insight per hour, because your brain's integration time is scheduled, not accidental. Lower cognitive drag, because you close loops inside load and after land, so attentional residue can't siphon the wander. Fewer stalls, because ending on a question and capturing fast prevents the "where was I?" restart penalty that eats days. Let's make it concrete. Say you're building a feature and the data model is fuzzy. Old model, grind for 3 hours, try paths A, B, and C, add complexity, feel stuck, keep pushing. Better model, load for 60 minutes on one question. What's the simplest schema that supports X and Y? Stop on a seed. What's the smallest table merge that kills duplication? Loosen for 12 minutes, quiet loop, no inputs. Minute 9, a one-parent, three-child shape pops. Land in 10, bullet it, choose a tiny test, rename one entity, write tomorrow's seed. You just traded slog for progress with fewer lines of code. Before we continue, you need to understand why the handoffs matter. The quality of land determines whether the next load starts hot or cold. If you skip capture, you'll make your DMN do the same work again tomorrow. If you capture but don't commit, you'll still hesitate when you sit down. Land is the conversion step. It turns integration into motion. This next part separates beginners from pros. Pacing. Shorter, cleaner loops beat long, heroic sessions. Aim for 2 to 3 cycles a day, not one monster block. Morning cycles favor new construction and hard decisions. Afternoon cycles favor simplification and shipping. The alternation keeps both engines fresh. And because you're ending load on a question, you get overnight synthesis for free. Here's the game changer nobody talks about. You can tune the loop with 3 levers: duration, friction, and novelty. Duration sets how long each phase runs. Start conservative and extend loosen only when sparks arrive right at the bell. Friction is the number of steps between phases, pre-staged shoes, cards, and timer so transitions take seconds. Novelty is micro. Change routes weekly or switch chores, but never add new inputs. When those levers are set, the loop becomes almost automatic. If you remember nothing else, deep work isn't endless sprinting. It's precise loading, deliberate wandering, and fast landing, on repeat. Once you nail that alternation, everything else clicks. Now let's build your daily cadence around it so breakthroughs happen on schedule. The DMN Protocol Overview. Here's the daily protocol that turns load, loosen, land into a reliable system. Think cadence first. 2 to 3 deep focus blocks per day, each followed by a DMN window and a quick landing. Then 1 weekly long walk for strategy-level synthesis. We'll set 3 levers: duration, friction, novelty, and a few guardrails so breakthroughs show up on schedule, not by accident. Daily cadence looks like this. Morning, 1 50-75-minute focus block on a single, sharp question. Immediately follow with a 10-15-minute loosen window, light movement, no inputs, then a 10-minute land to capture and commit. Midday, short admin window with a fence. Afternoon, a second focus block, then a slightly longer loosen window, 15-20 minutes and a 10-minute land. Optional, a short, low-stakes micro block later for creative maintenance, not heavy decisions. Weekly, add 1 long-form synthesis session. A 60-90-minute low-input walk with 1 guiding question and a simple index card structure. You'll use it to set bets, choose levers, and cut scope. This is where direction snaps into place so your daily loops aren't optimizing the wrong thing. Now the 3 levers. Duration, start conservative. Keep morning loosen windows at 10-12 minutes and afternoon windows at 15-20. Only extend when you notice sparks peaking right at the bell. If restlessness spikes, shorten. The goal is clean cycles, not long breaks. Friction, make transitions almost automatic. Shoes by the door, index card, and pen in a bowl, analog timer on the desk, capture pad open. If it takes more than 15 seconds to start a wander, your friction is too high. Reduce steps until it feels silly easy. Novelty, rotate routes weekly or swap walking for dishes sometimes, but never add new inputs. Novelty should come from environment, not content. Guardrails protect the DMN window. No attention candy, no podcasts, calls, music with lyrics, headlines. Keep movement light and rhythmic. Choose ambient monotony, familiar paths, quiet blocks, repetitive chores. The point is to free bandwidth for association. If you need stimulus, use green space or distant vistas, not information. A tree-lined street beats a newsfeed every time. Outcome-wise, this protocol makes breakthroughs predictable. Instead of hoping ideas show up in the shower, you schedule them. You'll notice 3 shifts. Decisions land earlier, rework drops, and your sense of stuck moves from days to loops. It's not magic. It's giving the right system the right job at the right time. Let me show you the flow inside a single loop so you can feel it. Focus. Set 1 precise question, preload only the relevant context, timebox 50-75 minutes, and end on a sharp seed question. Loosen. Step away for 10-20 minutes, move lightly, hold silence, and carry the seed without grinding. Land. Return to your desk, dump one-liners, sort into decisions, experiments, questions, then commit 1 micro-action. That micro-action preserves momentum and primes the next focus block. A quick example. Morning loop. What's the minimal data shape that supports feature X and Y? Load, seed, wander 12 minutes, land 10. Afternoon loop. What headline promises a specific outcome without hype? Load, wander 18 minutes, land 10. 2 loops, 2 decisions moved, no heroic hours. The compounding effect shows up fast when you keep the loop tight. Common pitfalls to avoid. Treating loosen like leisure, inputs kill synthesis. Overstuffing focus, multiple questions dilute encoding and confuse the DMN. Skipping land, ideas evaporate, and the next session starts cold. Fix those, and the protocol starts paying immediately. A few practical add-ons help. Label your calendar blocks explicitly. Focus, synthesis, landing. Put a 5-minute buffer before meetings to write a seed your DMN can chew on after, and a 10-15-minute synthesis block right after decision-heavy meetings to harvest fresh signals. Use the same index card across the day so seeds stay visible and linked. You'll tune the protocol weekly with your insight ledger. Track which loops produced insights, which decisions landed, time to break through, and any accelerators you used, green root, 4-4 breathing, one-word constraint. Keep the data light and actionable. Adjust one lever, duration, friction, or novelty, based on patterns, not vibes. Remember, the goal isn't more time, it's better timing. 2 tight loops with clean handoffs beat 1 sprawling grind. Daily cycles drive execution. The weekly synthesis session sets direction. The levers keep the system responsive to your energy and context. Stay consistent, protect silence, end on questions, and land fast. That's the DMN protocol. Focus block setup. Load your brain the right way. Let's make your load phase do the heavy lifting. The goal is simple. Give your brain rich, clean input aimed at one precise question, then end in a way that primes the DMN to keep working after you step away. Start with the single prompt rule. 1 focus block, 1 question. Not a topic, not a to-do list, a question that forces a concrete outcome. What's the simplest data model that supports X and Y? Beats work on the back end. Which 3 scenes prove the character's motive? Beats draft chapter 2. If you can't say it in 1 sentence, you're not ready. Tight questions focus attention, encode better, and give the DMN a target to chew. Now preload context, only what's relevant. Pull up core notes, constraints, examples, and nothing else. Close unrelated docs, hide the inbox, kill extra tabs. If something might be useful, paste it into a single working canvas so your eyes don't go hunting. You're telling your brain, these are the ingredients. Fewer switches equals stronger encoding, which means better integration later. Timebox to 50-75 minutes. Long enough to hit depth, short enough to avoid rigidity. Use a visible analog timer if you can. Seeing time move reduces the urge to wander and gives you a sense of progress. Aim to push until you feel the edges, where questions sharpen and friction rises. That's your signal you've loaded enough for this pass. Close loops inside the block. If you open a reference, put it back. If you create a subdoc, decide, keep or delete. Don't leave half-open tabs, half-sent emails, or sticky later tasks. Those threads yank attention during loosen. You want your DMN chewing on the main question, not juggling small obligations you forgot to close. Here's the counterintuitive timing rule. End on a question, not a win. Wins tell your brain, we're done, and background processing idles. A clean, specific question acts like a magnet. Write it at the end of the doc or on a card. What's the smallest table design that makes migration trivial? What headline promises a specific result without hype? Make it sharp, constraint-aware, and singular. Before you stand up, do a 90-second summary. 3 bullets: what you tried, what you found, what's still ambiguous. This jot compresses the session into cues your brain can replay and prevents the next block from starting cold. You're creating continuity so you can land faster when you return. Avoid classic mistakes. Overstuffed scope. If the prompt hides multiple problems, split them. Switching tools, bouncing between apps feels active but fragments encoding. Research rabbit holes. If a source isn't critical to this exact question, park it in a later list. And don't start with logistics, calendars, chat, micro-errands, because they hijack your freshest attention. Set minimal friction. Pre-stage your environment. Notes in one pane, output in another, timer ready, notifications off. Keep a parking lot note open for stray thoughts that aren't today's question. Dump, return. This protects focus without creating new mental tabs. Use scaffolds to speed loading. For writing, outline 3 beats, then expand the one with heat. For coding, write a failing microtest that forces a decision. For design, sketch 3 ugly options fast, then pick one to refine. Scaffolds anchor thinking so you spend less time deciding how to start and more time pulling the right thread. Mark clear stopping points. 5 minutes before the timer ends, stop building and seed the question. Don't squeeze one last tweak. That tweak usually creates a dangling thread and steals exit clarity. Write the seed, save, back up if needed, and physically stand up. The transition matters. If the block stalls early, don't thrash. Do a 60-second reset. Restate the question out loud, list the constraints, pick the next smallest test. If you're still stuck, the prompt is probably vague. Tighten by adding a constraint or reframing the outcome. Then continue. You're tuning input quality, not forcing output speed. End with an ignition ritual. Stand, read your seed once, and hand it to the DMN. Carry this. Then leave the room. Light movement, no inputs. When you return for land, you'll meet less friction and better ideas because you ended exactly where the next phase works best. That's how every focus block becomes fuel for breakthroughs. DMN activation windows, how to do nothing productively. Now the part everyone skips, the loosen phase. Here's how to do nothing in a way that actually produces answers. Start with light movement. Think walking a familiar loop, washing dishes, showering, stretching, folding laundry. Pick something repetitive and low demand so your attention can drift without tripping over decisions. Aim for a gentle cadence, steady, not strenuous. If you're gasping, you'll snap back into task mode. If you're completely still, you'll fidget and grab your phone. Light, rhythmic movement is the sweet spot. Protect the channel, no new inputs. No podcasts, no calls, no inbox, no feeds, and ideally no lyrics. Your background system needs bandwidth to chew on the seed you just wrote, not fresh novelty. Treat silence like a tool. You don't have to enjoy it. You just have to keep it clear for 10 minutes so association can work. Start with a 10-minute wander. Set a simple timer you don't have to stare at, leave your phone behind and move. You're not trying to think hard. Let thoughts replay, let them meander. If your mind snaps back to the question, good. If it loops on a line you wrote or an error you saw, also fine. The point isn't control, it's space. After a few runs, you'll notice a rhythm. First couple minutes are residue, minutes 3 to 7 loosen, and near the end a fresh angle flickers. When that flicker shows up, don't chase it. Capture it and keep moving. Use the pocket notebook rule. Carry a small card and pen. When something lands, one phrase, a structure, a variable name, write a single line. Don't open an app. Don't outline the whole plan. One line. Capture, don't chase. The moment you dive into details, you'll yank yourself back into task mode and the thread thins. One-liners are enough to reload later. Leverage sensory monotony. Same route, same sync, same stretch sequence. Repetition reduces novelty so your brain has spare cycles to connect dots. If you need novelty, change environment, not content. A different quiet block or a new staircase is plenty. Avoid visual fireworks, stores, or crowded streets. You're not sightseeing, you're clearing bandwidth. Extend to 15-20 minutes only when insights spike right as the timer ends. That's the tell that your focus block ran slightly long or the problem needs more incubation. Don't default to longer breaks every time. Use duration as a dial. Morning windows can stay at 10. Afternoon, when fatigue rises, go longer. If you're blank repeatedly, shorten the window and tighten your seed in the next load. Here's a quick win to build trust. Pick a naming, structure, or stuck decision, title, variable name, section order, API boundary. Seed that exact question, do a 10-minute wander, and expect a candidate answer by minute 8. Doesn't have to be perfect. Land it, test it, and move. This builds the I do the walk gives me a handle loop. Avoid common traps. 1. Turning the wander into hidden work. If you catch yourself rehearsing a paragraph or stepping through code line by line, you're grinding again. Loosen up. 2. Smuggling inputs. Just headlines, just music, just a text. Inputs hijack the channel. 3. Doing errands that require choices. Comparing prices, answering neighbor questions, those burn the same fuel you're trying to restore. If restlessness spikes, that's normal. You've trained your brain to seek hits. Use 4-4 breathing, inhale 4, exhale 4 through the nose for 60 to 90 seconds to smooth the jitters. Keep walking. If you're still twitchy, cut this window to 8 minutes and try again later. Momentum beats perfection. A micro story to show the payoff. A client spent 2 hours forcing a homepage headline and produced 10 forgettable lines. We switched to a 10-minute wander seeded with, "What's the smallest specific promise that hooks?" At minute 9, they wrote 5 words on a card. Back at the desk, we landed a draft in 5 minutes. Same brain, better timing. Your exit matters. When the timer hits, don't bolt to other tasks. Walk straight back, sit, and run the 10-minute landing pass you set up earlier. The window did its job, now you do yours. If another idea pops on the way, jot a one-liner and keep moving. Trust that you'll harvest in land, not inside the walk. Treat these windows as scheduled synthesis. Protect them like meetings. They look like nothing, but they're doing the integration you can't brute force. Run 2 today. You'll feel drag drop and clarity rise, then we'll lock those sparks in fast. Landing insights, the capture and commit method. You've loosened the knot. Now land it before it evaporates. Walk straight back to your desk and start a tight 10-minute pass. No polishing, no formatting. Dump the sparks as bullets, quick sketches, or a rough outline. Think bottling of volatile gas, speed beats neatness. If you jotted one-liners on a card, copy those first so your short-term memory stops guarding them. Sort the dump into 3 bins: decisions, experiments, and open questions. Decisions are calls you can make now with what you've got. Experiments are tiny tests that reduce uncertainty. Open questions are seeds for the next focus block. Label them D, E, or Q. This quick triage prevents you from drifting back into analysis and keeps momentum pointed forward. Commit one micro-action immediately. One small move that locks the insight into reality and signals to your brain this idea is worth protecting. Rename the function. Paste the subhead. Create the failing test. Save a snippet. Sketch the box layout. Think 5 minutes, not 50. The win isn't completion, it's commitment. If you're tempted to do more, timebox 1 extra 5 and stop on purpose. Here's a clean sequence you can run on repeat. 2-minute brain dump, everything that surfaced gets out. 2-minute sort, mark D, E, or Q. 5-minute commit, do 1 decision or 1 experiment. Final 1 minute, write the next seed question to carry into your upcoming load. That seed is the baton. It tells your DMN exactly what to chew between cycles and prevents cold starts tomorrow. Avoid over-editing. You'll feel the urge to perfect the sentence, refactor the file, or redesign the layout. Don't. Over-editing collapses the loosened benefit into another focus sprint and steals time from the next loop. Park polish in a queue list and move the smallest piece forward. Another trap, scattering notes across apps. If you split ideas between 3 tools, you'll orphan sparks. Keep a single capture pad beside your output. One place only. Build an insight ledger. Simple log, date, seed, what landed, what you committed, and the downstream impact. Keep it short. The point isn't journaling, it's feedback. After a week, you'll spot patterns, time of day that spikes clarity, seed types that pay off, window lengths that work. The ledger also trains your brain to expect value from the loop, which reduces that "this feels indulgent" guilt. Let me show you how this plays out. You're stuck on an onboarding flow. Seed. What's the smallest action that gives a new user a visible win in under 60 seconds? 10-minute wander, you jot preload sample data. Landing pass, dump dias, preload 1-tap demo, checklist, progress bar. Sort, decision, add a try a demo account button. Experiment, mock sample data for 1 task. Question, what metric proves success? Commit, create a clickable fake button to a prefilled page. 5 minutes done. Next seed. What's the cleanest copy for that button without sounding fake? Tomorrow's load starts hot. Another quick story. A writer kept noodling a subhead. During the wander, a sharp contrast line arrived. Landing pass. They wrote 3 variants, chose 1, and committed to a 3-sentence lead to set it up. No polish. The next block expanded fast because the piece had a spine. The difference wasn't a longer break. It was landing the spark before it cooled. What if nothing landed? Still do the capture. Write what didn't work, what you tried, and restate the question with a tweak. Often the act of articulating stuck points shakes loose a small next step. If you truly have 0, commit a micro-experiment that reduces ambiguity. Write a 3-line stub that forces the data shape, or draft 2 headlines that promise 1 concrete outcome. Progress creates fuel for the next loop. Guard the 10-minute boundary. If you sprawl, landing becomes another work session. If you skip it, the thread dies and the next focus block starts cold. Discipline here is what compounds. Dump, sort, commit, seed, stop. Refinements help. Use visual scaffolds, boxes for structure, arrows for flow, a quick color mark for decisions versus experiments. Speak the seed question out loud before you close the notebook. It sticks better. If a big idea lands that you can't finish, create a 1-file placeholder with a clear title and paste the link at the top of your capture doc so tomorrow opens to it. The thing most people miss: capture isn't the goal, commit is. Insight without a micro-action decays fast. Insight with a micro-action becomes a path. If you remember nothing else, remember this cadence. Dump the spark, decide its type, do 1 tiny move, write the next seed, and let your DMN take the handoff. Designing your day, the rhythm that compounds. Let's wire this into a day you can actually run. Think in loops, not hours. 2 strong cycles beat 1 heroic grind. Your morning loop sets direction, your afternoon loop simplifies and ships. Everything else protects the channel, so integration keeps compounding. Morning first. Start with one clean focus block aimed at a single question. You've already got the setup. Preload, timebox, seat a sharp baton. As the timer ends, stand and go straight into a 10-15 minute loosen window, light walk, dishes, or a shower, no inputs. Come back and land for 10. Dump, triage into decisions, experiments, questions, commit one micromove, and write the next seed. That handoff keeps your background engine working while you handle life. Now guard against input sprawl. After you land, carve a short admin window, email, quick replies, scheduling, but fence it. 20 to 30 minutes max, turn off feeds. If it's not required today, park it. The point is to prevent leakover, not open a floodgate. When admin bleeds, the afternoon loop pays the tax. Use midday to reset, not to cram. Eat, get daylight, and do 5 minutes of stillness or a slow loop. Again, no content. You're clearing residue so the next load starts clean. If you train, keep intensity moderate so you don't fry attention. Steady beats heroic. Afternoon is your second loop. Same pattern, slightly longer loosen window because fatigue is higher. Load for 50-75 minutes on one question, end on a pointed seed, then wander 15-20 minutes. Rhythmic, silent, low demand. Land for 10 and commit a micro-action that carries momentum into tomorrow. If you want a third touch, add an optional 20-30 minute micro-block for low-stakes creative tasks. Sketching, stub writing, small refactors. No heavy decisions. This keeps the system nimble, without robbing tomorrow's clarity. Evening cues long-term consolidation. You don't need productive nights, you need signals that tell your brain it's safe to compress the day. Analog unwind beats screens, a short walk, simple chores, paper notes. If an idea pops, jot it on a card, don't open apps. Sleep is part of the protocol because consolidation spikes overnight. Protect it and you'll reclaim hours of rework. Let's talk calendar mechanics. Block loops as real events with buffers. Example, 9:00-10:15 focus, 10:15-10:30 synthesis, 10:30-10:40 landing. Then 10:40-11:10 admin. Afternoon, 1:32-45 focus, 2:45-3:05 synthesis, 3:05-3:15 landing. Put a 5-minute buffer before decision-heavy meetings to write a seed your DMN can chew on after, and a 10-15 minute synthesis block right after to harvest. Without that, insights evaporate in chatter. Use physical anchors to make it automatic. Shoes by the door cue the wander. Card and pen in the same bowl. Analog timer on the desk so you never unlock a screen. Capture pad open beside your output file. These tiny props remove decision points and stop you from swapping the loosen window for just one quick check. Now the tuning. 3 dials, duration, friction, novelty. Start conservative, 10-12 minute morning wanders, 15-20 in the afternoon. Extend only when sparks peak at the bell, shorten if restlessness turns into seeking. Friction should be near zero, clear route, easy shoes, default chores. If you keep skipping the wander, your friction is too high. Reduce steps until it's practically automatic. Novelty is micro, rotate routes weekly or switch walking for dishes sometimes. New scenery is plenty, new inputs are poison. Protect against 3-day killers. 1. Input leaks. If you just check during your wander, the cycle breaks. Use flight mode and a dumb watch. 2. Scope creep. If your afternoon loop tries to tackle 3 questions, you'll dilute both load and land. Stick to 1. 3. Meeting clusters. Stack meetings together, then schedule a synthesis, land pair right after. That's how you harvest instead of letting the day smear. Here's a simple daily template you can copy tomorrow. Morning, focus 60, synthesis 12, landing 10. Admin 25, done. Midday, real reset. Afternoon, focus 55, synthesis 18, landing 10. Optional microblock 25 for low-stakes creative. Evening, analog unwind cue, short walk, no feeds. Run that for a week and track your insight ledger after each landing. Seed, what landed, microcommit, downstream impact. You'll spot your best times and ideal window lengths fast. When in doubt, don't add time, improve handoffs. Cleaner seeds and tighter landings beat longer days every time. Weekly DMN, the long walk synthesis session. Daily loops drive execution. The weekly long walk sets direction. This is your strategy pass, the the place scattered signals snap into one clear move. Run one 60-90-minute, low-input walk with a single guiding question. No phone, no feeds, no companions. You're giving the DMN a wide, quiet lane to recombine a week of load. Treat it like an appointment. Same day, same time, same starting spot. Consistency trains your brain. This is synthesis. Bring one index card and a pen. On the top line, write one consequential question. Keep it sharp. What single bet doubles impact next quarter? Which 2 features do we cut to ship in 4 weeks? What is this piece actually about? One question anchors the entire session. Start with an easy pace. The first 10 minutes are residue, meetings replay, tiny tasks bubble up. Let them pass. If something truly can't be lost, write one line at the bottom of the card labeled later, then release it. Your goal is clear space so the question can rise without fighting noise. From minutes 15 to 30, attention loosens. Patterns start resurfacing, repeated objections, metric blips, half ideas you parked. Let them orbit the guiding question. If you catch yourself drafting a pitch in your head, ease off. You're scanning for patterns, not performing. Keep inputs at 0, keep the body moving, and glance at the card if you need a cue. Pause mid-walk for a 2-minute jot. Split the card into 3 mini-lists: signals, levers, blocks. Signals are themes you've noticed. User complaints clustering, repeated delays, a trend bending. Levers are moves with outsized impact, kill a dependency, merge 2 steps, flip a default. Blocks are constraints, legal, technical, capacity. Short bullets only. This split forces synthesis. What's true, what moves reality, what's in the way. Walk again. With anchor set, the DMN recombines at higher resolution. Expect candidate strategies to appear as headlines, not plans. When one lands, write the title only. Cut to 3 core outcomes. Template-only work. Weekly DMOS, not monthly releases. Capture one-liners, then pocket the pen. If you chase detail, you'll yank yourself back into task mode. As the final 10 minutes approach, converge, read the card. Circle the one lever that makes everything else easier or unnecessary. If nothing is obviously superior, pick the move that unlocks learning fastest. This isn't endless debate, it's a decisive bias toward action. Before you re-enter noise, run an end walk summary. 4 lines on the card in order. Bet the strategic decision or hypothesis you'll test, because the tight rationale grounded in signals and blocks. First move, the smallest action you'll take in 48 hours to validate or advance the bet. Evidence, the result that would confirm or kill it. Keep it on the same card. Take a photo if you must, but keep the physical card visible until the first move is done. Back home, do a 5-minute land. Log the bet in your insight ledger, schedule the first move, and if it's obvious, write next week's guiding seed. You're turning clarity into motion while the signal is still warm. A few guardrails make this reliable. Keep prompts to 3 max, only if nested. 1 primary, 2 subangles. If multiple projects compete, rotate domains weekly so each gets 1 deep synthesis pass. Avoid routes with novelty overload, busy shops, loud streets, scenic fireworks. Mild nature or quiet blocks are ideal. Green edges and distant vistas widen attention without hijacking it. Pressed for time, do 60 minutes with the same structure. Don't cut the anchor jot or the end summary, compress wandering. If restlessness spikes, use 4-4 breathing for a minute and keep moving. If interruptions keep finding you, change the route or hour. Payoff looks like this: cleaner strategy, fewer false starts, faster cuts, calmer execution. You'll feel downstream gains, shorter meetings because decisions exist, lighter planning, tighter daily loops. Once your calendar and body recognize long walk equals synthesis, insights become dependable, not lucky. That's how you scale load, loosen land from tasks to direction, and stop spending weeks on the wrong hill. DMN killers: inputs, caffeine timing, and sleep debt. You've got the loop running, now protect it from the 3 killers that quietly wreck it: unmanaged inputs, mistimed caffeine, and sleep debt. These aren't willpower problems, they're system design problems. Fix the system, and the loop pays you back twice as hard. First, inputs. Novelty hijacks the same bandwidth your DMN needs for recombination. Every ping, badge, headline, lyric, and quick check spawns a mental tab. Reply later, remember that, track this, and those tabs follow you into loosen. The channel fills with residue, not association. During Loosen, inputs aren't neutral, they're poison. Even just music with lyrics pulls linguistic processing and crowds the seed. So set hard boundaries. Before a focus block, put the phone on flight mode and leave it there through Loosen and Land. If you need a timer, use an analog one. Create a quiet loop profile across devices, no banners, no badges, no previews. Whitelist the tool you're using in Load and your Notes app in Land. Everything else stays dark until the admin window. Batch communication once or twice a day. If it's urgent, use a simple rule everyone understands. Call twice back to back. Kill the micro-scroll reflex with physical substitutes. Move your phone to another room, wear a dumb watch, keep a coin or rubber band in your pocket. When the urge hits, touch the coin, read your seed, keep walking. If scrolling happens at the sink, charge the phone across the house during Loosen. Remove the trigger and the loop stops leaking. Now caffeine. Coffee helps focus. Bad timing hurts Loosen. Dose before or early in Load, not before a wander. Caffeine right before Loosen spikes seeking behavior. You get itchy, chase stimulation, and reach for inputs. You want calm alertness in the break, not wired restlessness. Practical rule: first coffee 20-30 minutes before your morning load. If you take a second, put it before the afternoon load, not after. Stop caffeine at least 6 hours before bed so consolidation isn't taxed. Watch dosage. Too much caffeine narrows attention to whatever is in front of you. That's great for execution, it's rough for synthesis. If your wanders feel edgy or impatient, cut the dose, switch a cup to half calf or decaf, or slide the timing earlier. Your goal isn't to feel the caffeine, it's to feel the clarity. Stable energy beats the jolt. Layer hydration and light movement instead of a late-day slam. A glass of water, a 2-minute stand and stretch, or a 5-minute quiet loop can restore alertness without wrecking your evening. If you need a pick-me-up before a meeting, put it after Land, not before, and still skip inputs during the walk. Sleep debt is the big killer. The loop depends on overnight consolidation. If sleep shrinks, memories don't stabilize, patterns don't connect, and everything feels harder the next day. You'll grind more and get less. That's rework. Protect a consistent sleep window and a calm wind down so your DMN has a runway to do long-form integration. Build a wind down stack that's boring and repeatable. 90 minutes before bed, drop intensity. Dim lights, no heavy decisions, no feeds. 10-minute analog tidy up, a short walk, or a shower signals storage time. If ideas pop, write one line on a card, don't open apps. Anchor wake-up time first, then shift bedtime earlier in 15-minute steps until you wake near your target without an alarm. Consistency beats weekend catch-up. Light exposure matters. Get daylight in the morning and lower light at night. That shift helps the whole loop because circadian alignment stabilizes energy across your load and Loosen windows. If you must work late, keep screens dim and warm, then extend your wind down a bit to cool the system before sleep. Here's a quick fix pack you can install today. Flight mode on a schedule. On at focus start, off during the admin window, on again for the afternoon loop. Analog timer on the desk so you never unlock a screen to set a countdown. Dumb watch for time checks. Index card and pen by the door and another set by the sink. Calendar events named Synthesis and Landing with a door sign, back at 10:40 to reduce interruptions. And a device rule. Repeat calls from favorites ring through, everything else waits. Inputs aren't evil, they're just poorly timed. Put your podcasts, articles, and social browse in a block far from Loosen windows. Late afternoon after your second land works well, or early evening before wind down if it doesn't spin you up. Give novelty a container so it doesn't cannibalize synthesis. If you remember nothing else from this section, DMN work needs quiet, calm alertness, and dependable sleep. Remove novelty from breaks, place caffeine before focus, and give sleep a runway. Do that, and every loop you run hits harder with less effort. DMN Accelerators. Movement, nature, and boredom tolerance. You've protected the loop. Now let's make each Loosen window produce better sparks without adding time. 4 accelerators matter: rhythmic movement, nature and distance, boredom tolerance, and light breathwork. Add simple creative constraints to shape ideas, and your DMN runs hotter with less effort. Start with rhythmic movement. You're not chasing intensity, you're chasing cadence. Steady, repeatable motions free up cognitive bandwidth because your motor system slips into a groove. Walking works best. Even pace, relaxed arms, eyes up. Indoors, dishes, sweeping, or light stretching all qualify. Think metronome, not workout. If you're huffing, slow down. If you're getting dull, nudge the pace slightly. The target is calm alertness, body moving, mind unhooked. Now add nature and distance. Green edges, water, and long sightlines shift attention into a softer, wider mode that favors association. You don't need wilderness. A tree-lined block, a park perimeter, or a long, quiet street is enough. Distance matters because it invites wide-angle scanning, perfect for pattern linking. Stuck inside? Face a window with depth, rooftops, skyline, a long hallway, while you do a repetitive chore. You're hunting visual openness without novelty overload. Boredom tolerance is a skill, not a personality trait. Train it with micro-intervals outside your loops. Start with 5 minutes of no-input drift once a day. Sit or stroll, zero content, let attention float. Label urges when they hit, check, fix, scroll, and let them pass. Add a minute every few days until 10 feels normal. You're not meditating, you're practicing silence so your loosened windows stop feeling itchy. Use light breathwork to settle the channel quickly. Run 4-4 breathing for 60-90 seconds at the start of a wander. Inhale 4, exhale 4, nose only, light and quiet. It smooths jitters without making you drowsy. If you feel sleepy, you're forcing it. Ease off and return to a natural cadence. The goal is a steady platform so the seed question can float back up. Add tiny creative constraints to give your DMN a frame. Before you step out, write a one-word rule beside your seed. Fewer, remove, single screen, no adjectives, 3 beats, 1 function. During the wander, that constraint acts like a magnet. Your mind tests shapes against it and discards fluff faster. Keep constraints small. Big frameworks turn the walk into covert focus. Combine accelerators for compounding effects. Try a green loop, 10-minute tree-lined walk, 60 seconds of 4-4 breathing, and a one-word constraint on your card. Expect a usable angle by minute 8. Or run an indoor monotony set, fold laundry by a window with depth, no audio, constraint, fewer, notebook in pocket. Same timing, same capture rule, one-liners only. Avoid common pitfalls. Don't chase scenery, chase spaciousness. Don't make breathwork a ritual you can't start without. Don't add constraints that require research. Your accelerators must be plug and play. If an accelerator creates excuses, no park, so I'll skip, it's too fragile. Default to the simplest version and add flavor when it's convenient. 2 quick wins from clients. A developer swapped a noisy street for a quiet greenway and used one object as the constraint. Within a week, naming got cleaner and architecture simplified. Same 10 minutes, better terrain. A writer started each wander with 60 seconds of 4-4 and the word contrast. Hooks snapped faster because the mind kept testing opposites against the promise. Noisy city or crowded home? Use micronature. A courtyard, rooftop edge, or stairwell facing a window. If nothing's available, briefly close your eyes for 30 seconds, then reopen with a softened gaze to reduce visual clutter. For movement, march lightly in place or do slow shoulder rolls. Rhythm, not strain. Calibrate weekly. In your insight ledger, tag accelerators used, green, 4-4, constraint, fewer. After a few loops, notice which combos correlate with clearer ideas or faster landings. Keep the top 2, drop the rest. You're building a minimal effective stack. Remember, accelerators amplify a clean loop, they don't replace it. Rhythmic movement sets the groove, nature and distance widen the lens, boredom tolerance protects the channel. Breathwork smooths the signal. A tiny constraint shapes output. Layer 1 or 2 consistently, and your 10-minute wander starts producing answers on demand. Team and calendar integration. Make it socially safe. You've dialed your personal loop. Now make it work with other humans without looking flaky. The goal, make focus, synthesis, landing visible, predictable, and obviously useful so collaboration speeds up. Block DMN windows as real events. Label them synthesis, not break. People respect what's named. Give each loop the trio on your calendar. Focus, synthesis, landing. Add 5 minutes before meetings to write a seed and 10 to 15 after to harvest. You're teaching your schedule to support thinking instead of fighting it. Share your cadence once clearly. I run 2 daily loops. Focus, synthesis, walk, landing. I'm responsive in these admin windows. Add your urgent exception. If it can't wait, call twice back to back. That one line cuts random pings because it creates a path for true urgency without training interruptions. Align deep blocks when work overlaps. If 3 people touch the same system, pick one shared morning focus window. You'll cut cross-chatter and make handoffs predictable. Do a 10-minute weekly sync to confirm the shared window, the one strategic question for the week, and where each person needs a post-meeting synthesis buffer. Meetings need buffers, period. Put a synthesis block right after decisions, trade-offs, or planning. Stand up, walk 10 minutes, jot one-liners, then take 5 to land and post the decision. Skip this and you'll let the freshest signals evaporate in chat threads. If you host, set the norm. We end at 55 past. Take 10 to synthesize, post your land. Make updates async and insight-led. Replace status floods with a one-screen recap. Seed, landed, commit. Seed, what's the smallest cut that ships? Landed, template only. Commit, refactor screen A by Friday. Short, concrete, loop-tied. That builds trust that your walks produce outcomes and gives teammates a template to copy. Label availability so no one feels ghosted. Set a status like synthesis walk until 10:30, landing 10:30, 10:40, replies after. The timestamp answers when are you back, without inviting just one quick thing. If your tool allows, auto-update your status when the synthesis event starts. Set and defend urgent exceptions. Define urgent, production down, client blocking, safety. Everything else waits for the next admin window or the shared decision slot. When someone pings mid-loop, reply with the script. In synthesis, back at 11:10. If urgent, call twice. Consistency trains culture faster than any policy doc. Create micro-buffers around collaboration hotspots. Before design reviews, seed a sharp question your DMN can chew during the post-review walk. What's the smallest cut that protects the date? After, take the 10-minute synthesis walk, then land and post the call. Same for user interviews, bug triage, and planning. You'll have drift between conversation and action. Use shared templates to speed adoption. Give the team a 3-line recap they can paste anywhere. Seed, the question we handed our DMN. Landed, the option that surfaced. Commit, the micro move scheduled. It keeps updates tight and makes the loop visible across engineering, design, content, and ops. Protect deep blocks at the team level. Cluster meetings, then place a synthesis. Land pair immediately after the cluster. Propose defaults. Mornings for deep work, lunch for admin, early afternoon for meetings, late afternoon for one more loop. If time zones collide, publish 2 templates and let people pick one. The point is predictability. Handle skeptics with proof, not debate. When someone asks why you need a walk, post the before-after. 2 days stuck on API naming. Ran 1 loop, seed, 12-minute synthesis, 5-minute land. Shipped a clean schema. Skeptics don't need persuasion, they need results. Show results and they'll ask to join. Don't let tools sabotage you. Use an analog timer so you never unlock a screen to start a countdown. Keep an index card on your desk for seeds and a capture doc pinned in your project tool. If possible, automate status when calendar shows synthesis or focus. Once a quarter, run a 20-minute team retro, which synthesis windows paid off where interruptions spiked, and one change to protect the loop. Make it socially safe by making it obviously useful. When calendars show synthesis, statuses show return times, and updates tie seeds to decisions, the loop stops looking like breaks and starts looking like how your team ships faster with less rework. That's how a personal protocol becomes a team advantage. Metrics that matter, measuring insight, not hours. If you've been tracking hours, you've been measuring compliance, not impact. This loop pays you in breakthroughs, so let's switch to metrics that tell you whether load, loosen, land is unblocking work and cutting rework. Start with a weekly insight count. Define an insight as a concrete idea that changes your next action. Not a note, not a quote, an action-shifting spark you actually landed. Log it in your insight ledger, date, seed question, 1-line insight, and the micro-commit you did. 5 solid insights beat 20 scraps you never used. Next, track decisions unblocked. Every time a choice stops ping-ponging because a loop surfaced a clear option, record it. Pick architecture A over B, cut feature Y, adopt template-only design. Decisions are compound interest. Each one collapses ambiguity and speeds the next 10 steps. If insights rise but decisions don't, your land is too soft. Tighten the commit. Measure time to breakthrough. From writing the seed to committing the first micro-action on the solution, how long did it take? Note the start time, number of loops, and the timestamp when you executed the micro-commit. As seeds sharpen and loosen stays clean, this shrinks. Watching that number drop is the most honest motivation you'll find. Monitor rework rate in a way that fits your domain. Writing, count major rewrites per piece. Code, rollbacks or large refactors caused by unclear early calls. Product, scope changes after build starts. Rework should slide as your loop improves. If it spikes, your seeds were vague or inputs bled into loosen. Add a clarity score right after each loosen window. 0 to 10, how clear is my next move? Log it beside the insight. Patterns pop fast, time of day, window length, route, whether you used a constraint, caffeine timing. You'll see that green loop plus 4 plus 7-word constraint might average 8, while hallway loop after 3 meetings sits at 4. Keep what raises clarity, drop what dulls it. Use a rolling 4-week review. 10 minutes every Friday, 5 questions. Which seeds produce the most decisions? What was my average time to breakthrough? Did rework drop compared to last month? Which accelerators correlated with higher clarity? Where did inputs or interruptions kill windows? From there, change one lever for next week, duration, friction, or novelty. Single variable tweaks make cause and effect obvious. Set simple benchmarks so you know you're on track. Week 1, expect 3 to 7 landed insights, 1 to 3 real decisions, and time to breakthrough around 1 to 3 loops. By weeks 2 and 3, quality rises, decisions double, and rework starts sliding. By week 4, most stuck items resolve within 2 cycles, and clarity scores stabilize above 7. If you're not seeing that, the usual culprits are fuzzy seeds, input leaks during loosen, or skipping land. Make metrics visible. A column on your whiteboard or a project page labeled Insights, Decisions, First Moves. Update it after each landing. Visibility keeps you honest and shows stakeholders you're not taking walks, you're shipping decisions. If you lead a team, roll up decision counts and average time to breakthrough at the project level. Shorter cycles beat longer stand-ups. Avoid vanity metrics. Hours logged, words typed, lines of code can all rise while value stalls. Also avoid dashboards that feel great but take 20 minutes to maintain. The ledger should take 2 minutes per loop max. If it doesn't, cut fields until it does. Here's a quick micro story. A PM felt underwater while tracking hours. We switched to insight count and time to breakthrough. In week 2, 80% of useful insights arrived between 2:30 and 3:00 after a 15-minute green loop. We protected that slot, shifted caffeine to 1:45, and rework on specs dropped by half in 2 sprints. Same hours, better timing. Define success each week as 3 decisions that unblock real work. If you hit that, you're winning, even if a deliverable slips a day. Decisions create momentum. Hours create stories. Track insights, decisions, breakthrough time, rework, and clarity. Review every 4 weeks, adjust one lever, and keep the loop clean. When you measure what matters, the work gets lighter and the results get bigger. Troubleshooting, when DMN feels like procrastination. Let's handle the days when the loosen phase feels like you're avoiding work. The test is, did I take a walk? Is this drift feeding the seed or feeding numbness? Productive drift has presence. You can recall the seed, your attention floats but returns, and at least one line lands. Avoidance has numbing. Time disappears, the seed fades, and you come back restless with nothing captured. Use the one-question carry to keep the DMN targeted. Say it out loud before you move. What's the smallest X that achieves Y within Z? If 3 minutes pass and you can't repeat it, you're slipping into avoidance. Stop, read the seed, run 4-4 breathing for 60 seconds, and keep walking. Presence returns fast when the target is sharp and alive. If restlessness spikes, shorten the window. 8 clean minutes beat 20 twitchy ones. Restlessness usually means hot nervous system or messy inputs. Caffeine too late, notifications recently, or vague seed. Cut the wander now, land whatever tiny clarity you have, then fix upstream causes before the next loop. Move caffeine earlier, harden input boundaries, sharpen the seed. If you're blank, no ideas, just fog, lengthen the load next time or add a constraint. Blank breaks often follow fuzzy prompts. Make the seed smaller and more concrete. Remove one field without hurting activation, or name the earliest boundary where state can go wrong. Sharp seeds bound the search space and give your DMN something to grip. Environment beats willpower. If your route passes friends at a cafe, you'll chat. If your sink faces a TV, you'll watch. Choose a repeatable path with fewer triggers. Keep 2 options, a quiet loop you prefer and a backup loop you can run when weather or life gets messy, stairwell laps, hallway walks, dishes by a window. Switching routes resets expectations and cuts temptation. When a loop derails, run a 3-step reset. 1. Micro-win commit within 5 minutes, rename the file, stub a function, outline 3 bullets. 2. Sharpen the seed with a verb and a constraint. Draft 3 headlines under 7 words that promise 1 outcome. 3. Take a 6 to 8 minute wander and then land. The goal isn't brilliance, it's restoring rhythm so the next full cycle works. Guilt is common if you equate effort with value. Reframe loosen as a scheduled phase with a job, integration. You loaded hard, now you're letting the system synthesize so land can catch something. Judge by output, not optics. If a 10-minute wander unlocks a decision that saves 3 hours, that's not indulgence, that's efficiency. Log those saves in your insight ledger to retrain your brain. Watch for covert grinding. Rehearsing paragraphs, mentally editing, stepping through code line by line, those are task mode. The fix is to widen attention. Lift your gaze, soften your focus, and let the seed sit at the edge. If a specific step grabs you, write a one-liner and release it. You'll return to it and land without burning the window. If avoidance keeps winning, add friction to the wrong behavior, not the right one. Phone in another room, shoes without pockets, a no inputs card by the door. If scrolling happens at the sink, charge your phone across the house. Make the good path easy and the bad path slightly annoying. Small frictions compound. On low-energy days, don't force a long wander. Use micro-oscillations, 3 minutes of light movement, 2 minutes of jotting, repeat twice. It's a mini load, loosen, land that often shakes loose a usable crumb. Then stop and protect sleep so overnight consolidation pays you back. For chronic blankness, suspect weak seeds. Vague, fix onboarding. Sharp, remove 1 step from onboarding without lowering activation. Vague, write the intro. Sharp, write 2 first sentences that promise 1 result without hype. If you can't sharpen, you probably lack a constraint. Run a focused 15-minute research pass, then try again. Avoid stacking problems. Carry 1 primary question and at most 1 subangle. Write both on the card and bold the primary. If the subangle hijacks the walk, it wasn't a subangle, it was a separate seed. Park it for the next loop. When collaboration noise fills your head, harvest it on purpose. Start the wander with a 2-minute, dump the voices, jot, concerns, requests, objections. Then fold the one that actually matters into your seed. Design the smallest cut that addresses X objection without slipping the date. Now the DMN has a usable constraint instead of static. If a wander ends empty, still land. Capture what didn't work, what you tried, and rewrite the seed with a tweak. Often, articulating stuckness surfaces a small next move. Write a 3-line stub that forces the data shape, or draft 2 headlines that promise 1 concrete outcome. Progress begets progress. Remember the cadence? Dump, sort, commit, seed, stop. Honor that rhythm, and even a bad wander pays something. Skip land or skip the seed, and even a good wander leaks. Troubleshooting isn't about perfect days. It's about fast recovery and keeping the channel clean enough for the next spark to land. Advanced tactics, seeding, incubation, and sleep. Seed at night, handwrite 1 sharp question, read it once, lights out. In the morning, write for 5 minutes before inputs, harvest first. Incubate by alternating 2 problems across days. Cross-pollinate domains weekly. End each week with 1 meta question. Protect consistent sleep. It's overnight synthesis, not optional. Case studies, coding, writing, and strategy. Let's make this real with 3 fast scenarios so you can see load. Loosen, land actually moving work. Coding first. A developer's drowning in an intermittent null bug in a data pipeline. 3 modules poked, logs added, nothing makes sense. Load starts with 1 sharp seed on a card. What's the earliest boundary where the payload can become undefined, given the last good state? They preload only what matters, recent logs, the schema, and 3 suspect functions. Timebox to 60 minutes. Trace once, add 1 strategic log at a single boundary, then stop. End on a baton. If the null originates upstream, what one log would confirm it without flooding output? Loosen, 10-minute quiet loop, no inputs, steady pace. Around minute 7, a shape clicks. Serialization happens right before the cue. If it fails, we'll miss a key long before null. One-liner on the card. Add checksum plus key check pre-cue. Keep walking. Land back at the desk, 5-minute jot. Sort it DEQ decision, add a checksum and missing key log at the serialization boundary. Experiment, replay the last 10 bad messages through only that step. Question, if checksum passes but null persists, what's the next boundary? Commit, implement the log, push, replay. 10 minutes later, the new log flags malformed payloads from one upstream client. Next load seeds the narrow fix. Normalize client X payloads. Add strict schema validation at ingress. 2 loops, bug isolated, no thrash. Time to breakthrough, 1 cycle plus 1 microtest. Another dev flavor, naming chaos. Everything's turning into God objects. Seed, what's the smallest object boundary that keeps responsibilities single for feature Z? Load for 50 minutes, sketch 3 ugly options, end with a baton. How can one role name reduce the surface area? Loosen, 10-minute green loop, no inputs. Minute 8, a cleaner role name lands that collapses 2 classes. Land, rename 1 file, write a failing test that forces the new boundary, and paste the seed for tomorrow's refactor. Rework drops because the DMN gave a tighter concept before more code piled up. Writing next. A creator's got a bloated section that refuses to land, safe, forgettable. Load, 1 seed. What's the smallest promise this section must deliver to move the reader to action? Preload notes, constraints, 3 strong examples. 50 minutes drafting against that one promise. End with a baton. How can I create sharp contrast in 1 sentence without hype? Loosen, dishes for 10 minutes, no audio. Let the lines you wrote swirl, but don't rehearse them. Minute 9, a contrast frame snaps in. Stop shipping more, ship smaller, faster, clearer. One-liner captured. Land, 10-minute pass. Dump variants, mark 1 decision, use that line as the subhead. Experiment, write a 3-sentence lead that sets it up. Problem, false, fix, better move. Question, which example proves it in 30 seconds? Commit, paste the subhead and write the lead. Now the next block writes itself because the section has a spine. Headline hell is the other classic. 10 safe options, you hate them all. Seed, what's the smallest specific promise my reader can feel in 30 seconds? Constraint, 7 words, no hype. Loosen, 10-minute treeline loop, 60 seconds of 4-4 at the start. Minute 8 or 9 bang, double output, fewer hours, no burnout. One-liner on the card. Land, 5 minutes to draft 3 variants under 7 words, decide on 1, and commit to testing it as an H2. The win isn't the perfect headline. It's a sharp frame that moves the piece forward now. Now strategy. A PMS juggling an overscoped quarter, a restless team, and stakeholder pressure. Daily loops help, but direction keeps wobbling. Enter the weekly long walk synthesis. Seed, what single bet doubles our odds of shipping meaningful value in 4 weeks? Same structure, early residue, mid-walk anchors, signals, levers, blocks, then converge. Signals, user value clusters around 2 core outcomes, everything else fragments. Levers, cut to those outcomes, adopt a strict template, ship weekly DMOS. Blocks, legal review bottleneck, thin QA, final 10 minutes, circle the lever, cut to 3 core outcomes and enforce template-only work for 4 weeks. End summary on the card, bet, 3 outcomes, template-only, weekly DMOS. Because focus increases velocity and clarifies value. First move, schedule a decision meeting, present the bet with the template, cancel tests that don't serve the 3 outcomes. Evidence by Friday, 1 template shipped, 1 demo recorded, cycle time down 20%. Land, log the bet, schedule the first move. Next week, meetings shrink because the bet exists, daily loops lock onto clear rails, backtracking drops. Cross-team chaos is another strategy pattern. Design, engineering, and marketing keep diverging right after planning. Seed the weekly walk. What's the smallest integration ritual that cuts misalignment by half? Mid-walk anchors expose the spike between decision and handoff. Lever, 10-minute post-meeting synthesis walks for each lead, then a 5-minute async land post with seed, landed, commit. Pilot it for 2 weeks. Decision times drop, conflicting work falls, blockers surface early because the DMN captured nuance right after the conversation, instead of letting it smear across the week. Let's tie the thread across domains. Coding wins when you narrow the search space and test at the right boundary. Writing wins when contrast or constraint lands as a hook instead of grinding more words. Strategy wins when you widen the lens, then commit to one decisive lever with an immediate first move. In each case, the physics are the same. Load primes with a sharp seed, the DMN recombines during a clean wander, and land converts spark to motion with one microcommit. If you're wondering where to start, pick the area with the highest rework tax. For devs, the ugliest bug or naming snarl. For writers, the section you keep rewriting. For strategy, the decision everyone avoids. Run one clean loop, write one sharp seed, wander 10 minutes without inputs, land one microcommit. Log it in the insight ledger. Once you watch a stuck thing move in 15 minutes, the loop stops being theory and starts being your default. The 7-day DMN starter plan. Let's lock this in with a simple week that proves the loop without blowing up your schedule. 7 days, 2 loops a day max, and 1 long walk synthesis. You'll finish with a personal cadence, real decisions shipped, and a cleaner brain. Day 1 and 2 are about wiring the rhythm. Run exactly 1 full loop each morning. Start with 1 sharp seed on a card, 1 question, 1 constraint. Load for 50 to 60 minutes, preload only what matters, time box end on a pointed baton. Then a 10-minute loosen window, walk, dishes, shower, no inputs. Land for 10, dump, sort, DEQ, commit 1 micromove, and write tomorrow's seed. Stop there. The win is consistency, not volume. Day 3 and 4, add a second loop in the afternoon. Keep the morning identical. In the afternoon, same pattern with a slightly longer loosen, 15 minutes instead of 10 to account for fatigue. Protect a short admin window after the second land, then stop. If you're itching for more, do only low-stakes creative. Sketching, stub writing, small refactors. No heavy decisions. You're teaching your system to cycle cleanly, not to sprint. Day 5 is your weekly long walk synthesis. Pick 1 consequential question and run the 60 to 90-minute structure. Early residue, mid-walk anchors, signals, levers, blocks, then converge to 1 bet, 1 first move, 1 evidence line. When you get back, do a 5-minute land. Log the bet in your insight ledger, schedule the first move within 48 hours, and write Monday's seed tied to that move. The point is turning big picture clarity into immediate motion. Day 6 is tuning. Take 15 minutes with your insight ledger. Look for patterns. Which seeds paid off, which time slots gave clearer ideas where you skipped land, what broke your loosen windows. Change 1 lever only, duration, friction, or novelty. Duration, if ideas peaked at the bell, add 2 to 5 minutes to that slot next week. Friction, if you skipped wanders, remove steps, shoes by the door, phone in another room, default route cleared. Novelty, if the loop felt stale, rotate to a quiet new path or swap walking for dishes. 1 tweak, not 3. Day 7 is review and lock. No heavy loops unless you're fresh. Optional light morning loop for a low-stakes task to prove the system runs even on a slower day. Then a 20-minute weekly review. Answer 5 questions straight from your ledger. What were my top 3 insights? Which 3 decisions unblocked real work? What was my average time to breakthrough? Where did inputs or caffeine timing mess with my loosen windows? What 1 change am I committing next week? From that, draft your default daily template for the next 2 weeks. 2 loops, admin windows, and the weekly long walk in the calendar. Here's a concrete schedule you can copy for the starter week. Day 1 and 2, morning loop only, focus 55, synthesis 10, landing 10, log it and stop. Day 3 and 4, morning loop same. Afternoon loop, focus 50, synthesis 15, landing 10. Quick admin after. Day 5, long walk synthesis, 60 to 90 minutes with the card structure, then a 5-minute land. Day 6, 1 loop if you want, plus a 15-minute tuning session. Remove 1 DMN killer. Day 7, optional light loop, then the 20-minute review and next week's template. A few guardrails keep this tight. Keep seeds painfully specific, verbs and constraints. Remove 1 step from onboarding without lowering activation. Write 2 subheads under 7 words that promise 1 outcome. Identify the earliest boundary where state can go wrong. Sharp seeds make short windows work. Keep loosen windows clean, flight mode, no audio, steady cadence. Land fast, 2-minute dump, 2-minute sort, 5-minute microcommit, 1-minute seed. And protect sleep every night. Consistent bedtime and wake time, so consolidation actually pays you back. Expect some bumps. If you blank during a wander, finish it anyway and land the stuckness. Write the constraint you're missing and make that tomorrow's seed. If you feel restless, shorten the wander to 8 minutes and shift caffeine earlier before the next loop. If inputs leak, move your phone to another room and switch to an analog timer, today, not later. If you skip land, your next loop starts cold. Don't skip land. What good looks like by week's end? At least 5 landed insights you acted on, 2 to 3 real decisions, and 1 synthesis bet with a scheduled first move. Your average time to breakthrough on a stuck item drops to 1 to 3 loops. Rework feels lighter because you're not overworking the wrong path, and you've got a daily rhythm that doesn't depend on willpower because the handoffs carry you. If you want an extra boost, add 1 micro accelerator to the afternoon loops only, a quiet green path or a 1-word constraint like fewer or single. Keep mornings vanilla so you can see the baseline. Tag the accelerator in your ledger so you keep what actually helps. By Monday after this plan, you'll know your best windows, true friction, and default cadence. That's the point, calibrate with reality, not a wishful calendar. Run the week, log the loops, change 1 lever, and lock the rhythm. Once the loop is automatic, you'll get more breakthroughs from the same hours, and you'll stop mistaking grind for progress. Habit architecture, environmental and identity cues. You don't need more willpower, you need rails. Habit architecture turns the loop from a plan into a reflex. We'll set physical anchors, identity cues, if-then scripts, light social proof, and a reward loop that celebrates landed insights, not hours. Start with place anchors. Put objects where the behavior begins. Shoes by the door every day. A small bowl with an index card and pen right next to them. An analog timer sitting in your eyeline on the desk. A capture pad open beside your output file. 1 card taped to your monitor with your current seed and the word land at the bottom. The scene should tell you what to do next without thinking. Lay out 3 microzones, even if it's 1 table. Zone 1, focus, clear surface, only the active tool, timer near your right hand. Zone 2, synthesis, door, shoes, card, 0 screens within reach. Zone 3, landing, return spot with the capture pad open and a chair pulled out. When the environment telegraphs the phase, you stop negotiating with yourself and start moving. Use an identity cue to lower friction. A single line works. I close loops and let my brain connect dots. Write it on the first page of your insight ledger and inside your notebook cover. Say it once before you hit start. Identity drives behavior when motivation dips. You're reminding yourself you're the kind of person who seeds, wanders, lands, and ships. Pre-decide the messy edges with if-then plans. If I feel the urge to check my phone during synthesis, then I touch the coin in my pocket and read my seed again. If someone pings mid-focus, then I drop a 1-line in loop, back at 10:40 and keep going. If rain hits at wander time, then I run the indoor monotony set, dishes or laundry by a window, no debate. If I skip landing, then I run a 2-minute emergency landing, 3 bullets, 1 micro commit, 1 seed. Tiny scripts remove decision load, where you're likely to bail. Shape the calendar to match the identity. Name events by function, focus, seed X, synthesis walk, landing. Color code loops 1 color, admin another, meetings a 3rd. Set default lengths so you're not dragging edges daily. Add a repeating Sunday block, insight review plus template for 20 minutes. That title is both a cue and a guardrail. Engineer no input zones. Put a small tray by the door labeled screen sleep here. During focus and synthesis, your phone lives there, face down. If you must be reachable for true emergencies, use the Cult-Weiss rule and allow repeat calls from favorites. Wear a dumb watch so you can check the time without unlocking a screen. These tiny props flip your defaults fast. Reduce choice by pre-committing routes and chores. Pick 1 primary walk route and 1 backup. Write them on a sticky by the door. Loop A, Greenway, Loop B, Hall Stairs. For indoors, pick 2 instant start chores, dishes and laundry are perfect. The rule is simple. When the timer hits, you move to a pre-chosen synthesis option. Thinking is friction. Friction kills loops. Create micro-rituals at the handoffs. Rituals aren't magic. They speed the phase change. 3 easy breaths with a glance at your seed before you stand. 1 sentence out loud when you return. Landing now, decide 1 micro move. A pencil tap on the insight ledger when you finish. Keep rituals under 10 seconds so they help without becoming a barrier. Add light social proof without turning it into performance. Share your weekly insight ledger with 1 peer, a teammate, friend, or manager if that's safe. Keep it simple: seed, landed, insight, microcommit, done. Ask them to send theirs once a week, too. That tiny accountability loop makes it normal to take a synthesis walk and post a decisive landing. If you lead, start a Friday thread: 3 insights, 3 decisions, 1 first move next week. Design a reward loop that pays for the right behavior. Hours feel rewarding but lie to you. Landed insights move work. Use a visible tracker, a small grid in your notebook or a sticky on your monitor. Every time you complete a full loop: seed, synthesis, landing, commit, cross off a box. Hit 5 in a week and give yourself a tiny reward that doesn't wreck sleep or pull you into inputs. Favorite coffee, a new pen, a 30-minute guilt-free read. Small, consistent, repeatable. Handle household and team dynamics up front. If you share space, hang a sign during loops. Deep focus till 10:15, back at 10:40. Exact times reduce interruptions. Share your cadence with your partner or roommates and offer trade-offs. My loops are 9:11 and 1:33:30. After, I'm fully on for errands. Clarity buys quiet. Maintain the rails weekly. During your 20-minute review, do a 5-minute reset. Restock index cards, move the timer back to the desk, put the shoes by the door, replace a dead pen, and erase last week's seeds from the whiteboard. Maintenance is part of the system. When the scene is ready, the loop starts itself. Here's the meta. Your environment cues the next right action, your identity line lowers resistance, your if-then scripts catch derailments, your social proof makes it normal, and your reward loop teaches your brain what to repeat. You're not building discipline, you're building a system so reliable that discipline becomes irrelevant. The core move is simple. Load 1 sharp question, wander without inputs so your DMN recombines, then land the spark fast with a microcommit. Try the 7-day starter plan this week, then watch my deep dive on designing elite focus blocks to sharpen seeds. Subscribe for the full DMN protocol series and post your first insight ledger in the community thread so we can tune it together.